regarding my moonlighting between Toronto and Berlin, I mean, I'm from Toronto, my family's from Toronto, many of my old friends are from Toronto, and majority of my best friends that are from Toronto actually live in Berlin now. So it's kind of like I'm at home in Berlin. To be honest, there's not very much going on in Toronto. There's a shitload of clubs. There's a lot of clubs in Toronto, but they're mostly progressive house and trance and a lot of this kind of British style. For techno and for minimal and deep house and these other styles of music, it's not really that popular in Toronto. I'd say probably the reason for this is because all of the Canadian artists really had to abandon Canada somehow. Most of the Toronto artists like Jeremy Caulfield, myself, Mike Shannon, Adam Marshall, all of us eventually left Toronto. We all ironically live in Berlin now. Yeah, regarding my style, I mean, like, as a DJ, I get kind of pigeonholed into being a minimal techno DJ, which, of course, I mean, like, at least 50 to 80% of the music that I play is, yeah, the records that I like are minimal techno records, generally. But my history as a DJ really comes from a number of influences. I was really influenced by hip-hop, just from the perspective of scratching and from technique. I also really was a big drum and bass fan for a really long time, and I really loved the DJ style with this, with all the editing and crossfading. Those are my influences. I mean, when I play a set, I don't like to play exclusively one style. I play a little bit of electro, a little bit of house, a little bit of deep house, a little bit of funk. I don't know, whatever turns my crank, really, to be honest. I don't know, regarding Revolver, we started off as a Canadian label, and it was more like something to do for Canadian artists that didn't have a means by which to get records out on other labels, and we decided it was more like a breeding ground of artists that hadn't established themselves yet, and it was always going to be international artists remixing local artists. The label became a breeding ground for newer artists, and we changed our direction from just being Canadian artists to countries that maybe didn't have the same amount of labels and the same amount of advantages, so started signing a lot of Japanese artists, etc. Right now in the studio, I'm slowly producing. For the past year or so, I've slowed down on production. Usually I like to do a lot of ambient music, a lot of experimental stuff, and stuff that's kind of anti-dance floor. And that's really what I consider to be a challenge as a producer. But in the works right now, I'm doing a remix of Adam Hart, I'm doing another remix of Mike Shannon, I don't know, a bunch of projects, but I'm really taking my time right now, to be honest. So.
You just play something nice for the morning.